Yeah, when I was a kid, I suppose, like a lot of kids, I was obsessed with winning. If I did something, I wanted to be the best at it, whether I was playing computer games or whether I was actually taking part in a sport. Anything, I wanted to be the best. And I remember Dad telling me this story once, and I think it was the day that I had a school sports carnival, and I must have been talking about the events that I thought I could win. And Dad told me about when he was in high school, he would usually end up winning the points tally for his age group at his high school sports carnivals. And it wasn't because Dad was the best athlete in his grade. Like a lot of kids, Dad played footy and he did track and field, that sort of thing. But he wasn't what you'd call a star athlete. But what he did is he took part in everything that he could on those carnival days, whether it was discus, whether it was shot put, long jump, javelin, the 100-meter sprints, anything that he could take part in, he would take part in. And so that points tally would add up just because he turned up. And it's just funny when you contrast an approach like my dad's with what you see these days, where there's such a focus on having to do everything with passion and having to be psyched for stuff. And some people seem to perpetuate this idea that if you don't wake up every single day with this enthusiasm to the brim and you don't need coffee because you've already got that buzz, that you're in the wrong game. And actually, it's detrimental. It's detrimental to people in a lot of ways, because the reality is that regardless of what you do, whether you're just somebody who cleans the bins, or whether you work in a kitchen, or even if you're a highly paid athlete or a music producer or an artist or something, you're going to have those days where it's not coming together for you and you're not really in the mood to do it. But how many times has it happened for you? You know what I mean? Like, there are these times where you have an obligation and you don't want to go. You got something, you don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And you sort of have to drag yourself through it. But then through doing it, you go, you know what? I actually gained something out of that. And you have this unexpected result from it, this unexpectedly good result from it. Just because you turned up, just because you were present, just because you did what was necessary. And you couldn't have foreseen it when you had to go and do it. You had no enthusiasm for it. But just by turning up, you got a win out of it. Because I know myself that while I absolutely like what I do, I like making these videos, but I don't always feel in the mood to go and make a video. Like, even right now, as I'm recording this, there's a whole bunch of other things that I could be doing, and that, to be blunt, I would rather be doing. But I know that if I don't get it done, then the video's not going to be made. It's just going to be all up here in my head, and that's going to be it. And even though I like doing certain things and I like the results that I get, I don't always have a passion for that process, for that grind. You know, there's plenty of times that I go down to the gym and I train. Because I train about 4 nights a week. And there are times that I go down there and I don't have a passion to go down. I don't feel like going, but I go because I know that I have to if I want to see the results that I want to see. I'm learning a language. I do that every day and I don't always feel like doing that. I paint from time to time as well, and as excited as I am about the vision at the start, it's all those little strokes along the way. It's all those days or those nights sitting at the canvas. It's those little fiddly bits that I don't really have an enthusiasm for, but it has to be done in order to complete the painting. Writing as well, obviously. Like, I publish new articles pretty much every fortnight, and I don't always feel like sitting down and writing those drafts and having to brainstorm ideas. A lot of the time, I'm completely indifferent to it. If we're being blunt, there's a lot of other stuff that I'd rather be going off and doing. But I do it. And like I said, these videos too. But I know that if I don't sit down, I don't record these videos, if I don't write in my journal, if I don't write blog articles, if I don't brush up on my language skills every day, if I don't go down and train at the gym, or whatever else it is, that further down the track, I'm going to have nothing to show for it. And this can also be a problem for those of you who are perfectionists. And I've had a bit of that streak in myself too, that perfectionist streak where it's never quite good enough. It has to be 100% before we can put it out, because there's this feeling that if everything that we do isn't done to 100% of our possible ability, that we're letting ourselves down, we're letting other people down. But as someone pointed out to me a little while ago, it's better to get something done to 80% of our ability and to get it out there than to insist on getting it done to 100% and then procrastinating. Because ultimately, if you're happy with 80% and getting stuff uploaded, getting stuff launched or posted or completed, it's actually getting done. And that stacks up. It's much better to do that than to continue holding things off and procrastinating because, it's not quite 100%. I mean, look, there's some things like surgery perhaps, or accountancy, where you have to be precise. Failing to be precise can be the difference between solvency or bankruptcy. It can be the difference between life and death in some circumstances. But if you're a creative person, or if you're doing what I do, you can let it slide. Not that you shouldn't strive to do your best, but if you insist on being the best all the time, on being perfect all the time, you leave yourself open to procrastination, putting things off, waiting to have that right mood. And you can't always be completely psyched and enthusiastic to do what it is that you do on a regular basis. But what happens is, if you keep showing up, if you just turn up and do what needs to be done, you can be pleasantly surprised. And even if you just turn up and it just feels like another day at the office, perhaps another video to be made, another post to be written, a new thing to be recorded, another task to be done, and there's nothing memorable about it, over time that still gains interest. Over time, you're still going to have something to show for it, and you'll notice it. You'll get better at what you're doing. You'll become more competent. You're playing that long game. It's just about being consistent and turning up. Even if you don't feel that enthusiasm every single time that you go and do it. It's okay not to feel that enthusiasm, guys. And I just wanted to leave you with that because, like I said, I know there's a lot of messaging out there about having to have passion for something, but passion doesn't always mean that you're excited about something. Even the things that you like doing, there's those little processes that you'd rather not have to bother with, and that's pretty much universal. So if you can just turn up, if you stop insisting on being absolutely 100% perfect with everything, and you're happy to get it out there, if you can get it to 80%, then that's going to stack up over time. And that's going to make all the difference for you in the months and the years to come. So, yeah, look, if you want to talk more about your copy, because obviously that's what I specialize in, and you want to look at how you can possibly add a few more percentage points to the quality of stuff that you're putting out there, or maybe that you're writing for your team, just hit me up through the links below. There's a link there, and you can organize your consultation, and we can take a look at what you're doing with your copy. Otherwise, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already, so you don't miss these videos, because regardless of how I feel about it, I'm going to keep on putting videos out there. And you'll see the other links down below, but I wanted to leave you with that one, guys. Just turn up. Just turn up and get it done. And those days where you really do feel psyched about it are a bonus, but regardless, you're going to be glad that you made that consistent effort as time goes on. So good luck with that.